Netflix shows, a Call of Duty RTS, a Star Wars game. These are all things that were once in the works over at Blizzard. We know thanks to a new book by journalist Jason Schreier, and from what we've heard so far, whew, it's looking explosive. I'm Ash Dixon, and this is GINX News. Blizzard has had a rather tragic fall from grace over the decades, from flops, scandals, and outright PR disasters, and for the first time we're getting our first true look behind the curtain and how all of these things somehow came to be. Play Nice: The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment is the title of the book, and despite it not being out until the 8th of October, Schreier's been doing the rounds talking about what lurks inside. Now, I don't know if he's just chill spoiling his years of works or if there really is just that much juicy information packed in, but thanks to various AMAs and interviews, we already know a ton of new crazy stuff about Blizzard. But then again, he did interview over 350 people just for the book, so there's a lot to talk about. We'll start with what's probably the simplest topic, the games. Now, we all know Blizzard started out as a small developer pumping out console games in the early 90s, including an incredibly mid Justice League game. I guess some things never change. But they really made an impression thanks to Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans. In fact, alongside the Command & Conquer series, they helped pioneer the RTS boom of the mid to late 90s. Obviously, they later evolved the RTS formula into Starcraft, but according to Schreier, it was originally pegged to be a Star Wars RTS. Now, this was incredibly short-lived, so much so that despite concept art being made at Blizzard, the president of LucasArts at the time has no recollection of the project. But hey, the groundwork was there for a sci-fi RTS, and voila, Starcraft was born. And let's stick on the RTS gossip for a second, because perhaps one of the biggest tragedies of the book is that it basically kills any hope for a new, fully fledged Warcraft or Starcraft game. Despite Starcraft 2's unprecedented success as an esport, it apparently didn't quite meet the company's commercial expectations, especially when Blizzard has games like World of Warcraft and then later Hearthstone and Overwatch, which just print money. Now, its production director, Tim Morton, was desperate to get a new RTS off the ground, pitching everything from Warcraft 4 to even a Call of Duty RTS. But Blizzard's execs just didn't care for them. There was some hope that maybe, just maybe, Warcraft 3 Reforged would be a massive success and would pave the way for something new. But yeah, not only did that not happen, but it was an absolute dumpster fire of a release. Fix the game! Basically, the final nail in the coffin for a new RTS. Which is crazy when you think about it. And I think it points to one of the biggest fundamental issues with Blizzard. Because I think we can all agree that Blizzard fans are desperate for a new Warcraft or Starcraft game. And as long as they did a decent job making it, it would be a guaranteed success. But in the eyes of an exec, success is relative. Why make a game that will please fans and make a modest profit when you can chase the dragon of live service and microtransactions and make potentially big profits? Now, let's not pretend this is an issue exclusive to Blizzard. Corporate greed is rotting the gaming industry from the inside right now, and it's always the workers and the gamers paying the consequences. But it's really no surprise that Tim Morton went off to make his own RTS, Stormgate, although awkwardly, that hasn't gotten off on the best foot. Schreier also reveals that there were a load more adaptations in the works. Obviously, we had the Warcraft movie, which despite some great moments with the orcs, was not enough to carry it through the squeaky clean snooze fest that was the human storyline. And there were not one, but 3 other adaptations in the works. Apparently, Netflix was interested in TV shows for Starcraft, Overwatch, and Diablo. Sadly, that all fell through when Netflix poached their CFO. Activision even sued them for it. And of course, a load of the book dives into the inner workings and the story of Blizzard. To stories of its frat boy culture and the sexual harassment lawsuit, to the misreporting of the Cosby Suite story. Apparently, it was named that because the carpet looked like his sweater, and the infamous photo was taken a year before Cosby's allegations were widely known. There's the tales of the sex parties between staff. Now, hilariously, when Schreier discusses this in his AMA over on the WoW subreddit, one of the people he interviewed rocks up, blasting him for passing judgment on consenting adults. And it's like, bro, it really does not take a genius to know that sex parties between work colleagues, especially when there's power imbalances, is just not a good idea. And then there's the feuds at the top, like between Blizzard icons Chris Metzen and Rob Pardo, or how Blizzard's acquisition created a war between Mark Mahame and Bobby Kotick. Today, of course, Activision Blizzard is owned by Microsoft, and following huge layoffs, perhaps things are now finally stabilizing. But is the damage done? Will Blizzard ever return to glory? It's clear that Schreier's book is going to be a fascinating read, one I can't wait for, and one that really dives into the complexities and nuances of not only Blizzard, but of so many modern gaming companies. Let me know in the comments if you plan to read it and your thoughts on Blizzard. We cover the biggest gaming news every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so subscribe so you don't miss out, especially as we're so close to 1K. And as always, thanks for watching.